Hi everybody, it's Dan and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making a silky smooth cherry cheesecake. Nothing beats a decadent cherry cheesecake because there is just something classic and special about it. This creamy, fluffy cheesecake recipe has just the right balance of sweet and tangy with a light and delicate texture, all wrapped in a crunchy graham cracker crust and topped with a homemade cherry compote. I'll be sure to throw a link to the recipe down below in the description. And stay tuned at the end of the video for more information about the KitchenAid stand mixer giveaway. Now let's go ahead, move to the stove, and get started on our cherry compote. Add 2 tablespoons cornstarch and a half cup white sugar right into your medium saucepan. And then give those a quick little whisk to really break up any lumps or clumps that your cornstarch might have. Then follow that up with a half cup of water, about 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, and 2.5 cups of fresh or frozen cherries. Once you have all those ingredients in your medium saucepan, you just want to cook over a medium heat, stirring frequently until it really thicks up. I usually like to cook mine for about 10 minutes. Now if you are using frozen fruits, you may want to extend that cooking time for maybe an extra minute or two, no more than 5 minutes though, because all that frozen fruit is going to release a lot of water into your compote. Once you have that slightly thickened mixture, go ahead, turn off the stove, and set your compote aside. The compote will continue to thicken as it cools. When it's no longer piping hot, I like to add this to a mixing bowl and toss in about an extra cup of cherries to really thicken up this compote. And pack this compote with that delicious cherry flavor. Then just continue to let it hang out and cool and thicken while we begin on our graham cracker crust. I want to start off with 3 cups of graham cracker crumbs, finely crushed, and add into that a half stick of melted butter. Now let's combine the crumbs with that melted butter and mix until both are really well incorporated. After all that mixing, you want to add your crumbs to the cheesecake pan. Distributing evenly and pressing down flat firmly as you work the crumbs up the sides of your pan. And you can also do this with a glass or a measuring cup or just your hands. Either way, just make sure that it is firmly pressed at the bottom and up the sides of that pan to prevent any cracking. And as simple as that, we're done with our homemade graham cracker crust. Now it's time to start on our cheesecake batter. 3 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. Now you can also shortcut this by using whipped cream cheese rather than just cream cheese blocks. Either way though, you want to make sure that that cream cheese is at room temperature, which is just like leaving it out of the fridge for about 20 minutes. And beat that cream cheese for a good 2 minutes until it is whipped smooth. I usually like to start on a low speed and work my way up to a high speed. Once that's whipped nice and smooth, let's start adding in our next round of ingredients. So first up, we're going to add in 1 cup of sifted powdered sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 3 eggs. Then we're just going to go back in and continue to beat on a medium-low speed, either with a hand mixer, a stand mixer, or just by hand. Once that's all nice and incorporated and mixed in, we're going to top this off by adding in a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. And then just going back in and blending that on a nice low speed. Now we're adding the flour in the cheesecake batter as an easy route to avoid any cracking, and it really just makes the cheesecake easier to cut. Granted, it does change the texture of the cheesecake just a tiny wee bit, since the flour will make the cheesecake more firm and sturdy, while a cheesecake with just eggs alone has a softer, ultimately more creamy texture. Lastly, to really knock in some delicious cherry flavor, we're gonna add in 1 cup of whole cherries. Finally, let's fill our graham cracker crust with our cheesecake batter. Now let's go ahead, pop our cheesecake in the oven and let bake uninterrupted for a full hour. If your cheesecake wobbles in the center slightly when you jiggle it, it is more than done. Once your cheesecake is done baking, just turn the oven off and let your cheesecake hang out in the oven until it's cooled completely, and you move it to the fridge to firm up for another 2 hours. So our cheesecake has baked, it's cooled. I let it hang out in the fridge for an additional 2.5 hours to really set and firm up. Now it's time to put on our last topping, which is gonna be that delicious homemade cherry compote. So we're just gonna dump it on and spread it evenly throughout the top of this cheesecake. Once you're done topping with your cherry compote, that's it, you're done. You've tackled and conquered homemade cherry cheesecake. And you're ready to slice into a silky smooth cheesecake topped sky high with gorgeous plump red cherries for that ultimate special classic delicious cherry cheesecake. Well, thank you all for stopping by. I had so much fun showing you how to make my cherry cheesecake. If you're a fan of cherries, or if you're a fan of cheesecake, or if you're a fan of cherry cheesecake, definitely give this video a like. It really helps me out, lets me know I'm baking up recipes you all like, you enjoy, and you want to see more of. And if you want even more delicious recipes that you can bake with confidence every single time, definitely be sure to subscribe down below and click the bell to turn on notifications every time I post a new video. Like even more creamy, silky smooth, delicious cheesecakes. Plus, I still have 19 KitchenAid mixers to give away. So if you haven't already, be sure to enter down below. Once you enter in the giveaway, you'll have 19 chances to win and lots of ways to enter. Lastly, if you make your own delicious blueberry cheesecake or your own cheesecake inspired dessert, definitely give a tag on Instagram. You know, let me see what you're baking up in your kitchen. Alrighty, well I'm gonna grab a slice of this cheesecake, a cup of coffee, enjoy the day, enjoy the weather. I hope you all get to do the same. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video very, very soon. Bye.